Okay, um, here I am walking home from in the village of Mekampong where I'm living. So, welcome to. Okay, start again. Welcome to my Indiegogo fundraising effort. I'm going to quickly shift this around so you see where I'm walking. I'm in Mekampong, which is the village that I live in. And, okay, let's wait for this car to go and switch it around. Okay. So Indiegogo, Goze in the foothills of the Himalaya is the name of my project. Now I've got a fair bit of funding from the Alberta Foundation for the Arts, which is really great of them to support this. And I just have to raise a bit more. So this fundraiser is for $800 is my goal. And it really goes to cover, everything, living expenses, food, some travel, some materials, things like that. If I happen to raise more, I'd like to make a book, a handmade book, and that will, I'd say I'm going to write down in my project description that any donation over $100 will get a free book. It'd be a pretty limited edition. I'd be surprised if I made more than 20 of these books, but I'll make them by myself, and they'll contain the lyrics from the English lyrics that I write, as well as the Thai lyrics that my friend Noon, is going to do. A brilliant translator and artist in general. Oh, here comes a motorbike. Yeah. So if I get over it, that's what I'm going to do. I'd really love to be able to do that, but it wasn't really in my original description, so I didn't include it in my grant proposal. So basically what I'm going to do is spend 4 months making new music, songs, and maybe 1 or 2 instrumental pieces, but mostly songs. And as usual, my work is connected with connection with the natural world, and this be 4 months of songwriting, but 1 month of walking, which is kind of a continuation of my long ride that I did between 2011 and 2013. Kind of similar idea, much different mode. But this 1 month of walking, I'm now thinking I might do 2 weeks, say, in November, early December, and then 2 weeks in January, just to split it up a bit. For a couple of reasons. We'll see what happens, see how it goes. But part of me, there's a practical aspect to it, and I broke my feet up a year and a half ago. And it's still taking its time healing, so I'm kind of thinking 2 weeks of walking, and then some time as a break, and then 2 weeks later on, like a month or 2 later, would be a smart idea. But also it could be interesting because I might do a 2-week walk, in November, and maybe do the same walk again and re-meet the people. Do you know what I mean? And this project is inspired by the Goze. It's not a scholarly piece about the Goze. It's more of one where I'm inspired by their existence, their way of life. For those that don't know, which is most people, the Goze lived in Japan, and they were generally blind women, and they would travel in small groups and travel around the Japanese countryside and into towns and things. And oh, there's a big bike. We'll just take a break for a minute. Okay, I'm going to cross the road so it's safer. Oh, it's Sunday in Mekampong, which is always a very busy time. But it's a beautiful day, sunny. We're in the middle of rainy season, so that's nice. Anyway, the Goze, yeah, mostly blind, traveled around Japan. I have more description in my Indiegogo description about them, but certainly there's a certain amount of information out about them and their amazing way of life. So for me, I'm traveling alone. There's lots of differences. I'm not Japanese. I'm not a Goze. I'm not trying to be one. I'm just trying to be inspired by the idea of them. And the foothills of the Himalaya, well, I reckon these mountains that travel through northern Vietnam, northern Laos, northern Thailand, northern Myanmar are the foothills of the Himalaya mountains. So that's the link there. I mean, part of it is the sound of foothills of the Himalayas had a kind of nice ring to it, you know. It gave a sense of the scope of this terrain that goes beyond the borders, really. The other aspect of the Goze aspect is that, you know, there's been times when I've traveled through these mountains. Oh, look at this beautiful path. I walk up this quite often. Oh, it's really nice. Is that, you know, there's been times when I've been walking through, you know, walking and motorbiking through northern Thailand when it almost feels like if you took away the power lines, and you're looking at people planting rice by hand, and stuff like that. If you took away the power lines, it could be like, you know, 300 years ago almost. So there's that aspect to it, and that's partly what inspired me about walking through the north of Thailand. And you know, I'm going to travel through the mountains and stuff, and rural areas, small towns and things, villages, I guess you call them. Hey, oh, this dog. Oy, 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 oy. This dog always wants to come out and bite my ankles. He got me once. Anyway, it's no sweat. He's not a big biter. Yeah, so that's the whole idea of this project. And what else can I say? The long term, I'd really like to record it, and I'm thinking of hoping to try and get funds to go to Banff and possibly even do a tour beyond that. Record the stuff that I make, but who knows? We'll see how this goes and see how much I can raise later. But this project isn't really about that, it's really about the creation. So all monies raised will go towards, you know, just keeping myself alive while I do the project. Also, yeah, right, also nothing. Okay. Well, here's Pisu Tom's house, but I don't think they're here right now. Anyway, I hope this finds everyone well and happy, and all the best. Bye. We'll just do a view of